The Sierra Club began to organize residents in what became known as the Bucket Brigade.
Marathon. Yeah, they would be the guys with hydrogen sulfide and toluene and hexene and all the enes that they're dumping into the sewer.
Ethylbenzene.
Toluene.
One of the most poisonous, dangerous gases that anybody could be.
Yes, there were 20 toxic gases, more toxic than they are in Africa and Asia, living in my basement. Living in Bucket Brigade, we're taking air sampling. Mm-hmm. And I decide that, okay, they gave me this canister. They trained me. And they think it smells bad outside? I got something for the smell. We called Global and asked them, could we do an indoor sample? And he says, if it was anything like you say, draw the sample. I said, oh, buddy, this little bag is not going to carry what I'm going to put in it because I went right to the source. My basement drain, grabbed the air sample, sent it to California to be analyzed. And when they got the results, yeah, about that. It was...
They were so alarmed.
They were alarmed. They were calling me. They were calling Sierra Club. They were calling anybody going, this woman's she's being killed. She's got to get out of there. What do you do? And Michigan Department of Environmental Equality, MDEQ, had come out and done some testing previously. That's how we got involved with the Bucket Brigade. Oh, we won't test inside. We won't do this. And those toxins we found outside, oh, they're just normal. As a matter of fact, it might be a dead dog. And I go, if there's a dog that big dead around here, he's a dinosaur. It's not a dog. And I kept saying, that's not sewer gas. Oh, yes, it is. Pour some bleach on it. Okay, mix those chemicals with those gases. Was my thought. Some of my neighbors actually did do that. Was my thought. Because you want chlorine with benzene, with toluene, with hydrogen sulfide. Yeah, that'd be a cocktail waiting to blow up. Okay.
When I met Rhonda again the second time, it was during the Bucket Brigade, and my neighbor up the street, Adrian, Rhonda had contacted her with the Bucket Brigade. She was doing it in her house. So I was asking Adrian, well, how can I get this tested? Because my house stinks too on the inside. So then she was like, well, they just ran out of funding, so I don't know if you can get it or not, So during this process, all this time, we were still going down to city county because we wanted them to buy our houses because they were just creating such havoc over here. It was like nobody cared. And it was really just starting to take the neighborhood really down. So that day that I met Rhonda, they were having a campaign in front of Adrian's house, which is on Pleasant, which is a couple of, maybe 100 steps from my house. And Channel 7 was supposed to be there. They didn't show up. Rashida was there. We had about maybe 30 people in front of Adrian's house because we were going to protest. And the smell got so bad that everybody had to start leaving. They just started leaving. Rashida was like, I can't take this no more. I'm wheezing and all. So people just started leaving because it was just that bad. So during this period of time, when I met Rhonda and she was taking the testing at Adrian's house, I asked her, please come down to my house. I need somebody to smell this, not just me. I said, because if it's just me, people will think, oh, that's just you talking. But when you have a witness, that somebody that don't even know you and they smell the same thing, then you have evidence that this thing is. And the winter came and the smells decreased because I guess gases expand in the heat and they contract in the winter. But then the following summer, they started it up again, and with the construction of the waterways plant, they have the reconstruction of the Viaduct Bridge, as well as Marathon, as well as they were blasting at one time at the salt mine company. They were blasting underneath, so that was vibrating the house, and it was just a combination of the things. And the Mack trucks going down the street every 5 minutes, just kicking up big clouds of dust, which I have pictures, kicking up big clouds of dust and leaving like layers of dust you would clean, and then the next 3 days you got a thick layer of dust in your house everywhere. So, and it was every day. It was every day. We would go downtown to the city council. We would complain to them. They would listen to us complain. We'll get back with you. Something really ought to be done about this Southwest Detroit situation, but nothing was ever done. So at this point, during the second year, Rashida was campaigning. Rashida Tlaib. She was campaigning for a state representative, and she was walking down the street, and that's how I met her. She had stopped in front of our house, and she was running for state representative. And I said, well, since you're here, maybe you can do something about this stink. So I started just blasting her with a bunch of, questions and making statements. So then I physically said, okay, you have to walk and you have to smell what we're smelling. So we walked down the street going towards her car, and as soon as she went past the sewer or the manhole cover, she just turned red, because she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I said, well, this is what we smell every day. And sometimes this permeates the entire airspace around us. So not only is it around us in our outside air, it's coming up through our basement. And it's nowhere we can escape. So that's when Rashida got involved. And we started, started doing something. That's how I met Rhonda. I took the fan off, and within 5 minutes, the stink came up through the drain. It had been going on for so long. I had just painted my basement like maybe 4 weeks ago. It changed the color of my paint on the walls from yellow to dark gray, almost black. And it was just like a long streak of line, which Rhonda did take up pictures of it. It actually changed the color of the paint. It had some sort of a chemical reaction. I don't know what that was, and it began to, my husband and I had bought some new furniture, because we were planning, we were going to get out of here, and we had bought some new furniture. It had begun to change the color of the furniture in the basement. It had this whitish substance on it, and Rhonda scraped some of that off for a sample, but this is what was going on in our house. So this same day, Rhonda had me call it MDRQ. Was that correct? She had me call it MDRQ, and she said, you tell them what's going on right now. Just tell them. So I did. And they said, well, we'll send 2 agents out, which they did. And the agents came, and they had their pads in their hand, and they were taking notes, and they were saying, oh, this is in violation. This is in violation. And they got these fumes coming out of here. They're doing something. I don't know what they were doing, but they were, whatever it was that they were doing, they were saying that Marathon, as well as the waste treatment plant, were doing something in violation because they were not treating the groundwater. So while they were walking from sewage cover to sewage cover, with each manhole cover, they were taking notes. They would stand over, and the agents was letting them have it. They were like, you guys, do you know what you guys are doing is against the law? You dug up these houses, and you're not covering the holes. You're not treating the groundwater. You're not doing this, that, and that. So he was like, he was like shocked that they were coming on him like that. So well, let me talk to you guys. Can come over here and let me talk to you, because he wanted to get them away from me.